Hey Kenya, it's time to earn while you spend with your Union Pay card. Yes, you get 10% back on every purchase, rewarding you as you swipe. Union Pay, your way.
We'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Enjoy the magic of Christmas with Coca-Cola.
Kila siku unapokaza mshipi, unapozidi bidii, unapoongeza maarifa ya kuimarisha maisha, unapoongeza nguvu ya kukusongeza mbele, unaposherehekea na kuwakaribisha wengine kufurahia nawe, unapojijenga kibiashara na kuonyesha penzi lako, unga unaozaidisha uko papo hapo, kuzaidisha utamu wa maisha kwa kila namna, kila mara. Familia ya Ajab imeongezeka ili uzidishe mapishi. Mambo ni Ajab.
This is NTV.
Good afternoon. My name is Olive Burrows and you're watching NTV at 1. We start with the latest on the medics strike, and the ongoing strike by nurses and clinical officers is beginning to have devastating consequences, with the Bungoma Referral Hospital becoming the first major public health facility to shut down. NTV's Zacchaeus Masambe will be bringing us details in our subsequent bulletins. Meanwhile, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, have officially opened the Moyale one-stop border post. The move is expected to enhance cross-border trade between the two countries and deepen bilateral relations. President Uhuru Kenyatta said that the two countries are working together to get rid of non-tariff barriers and deal with elements that threaten the peace between Kenya and Ethiopia. NTV's Melita Oletenges witnessed the event and now joins us live from Moyale. Melita, this is his first trip abroad following the Tigray crisis. Did he make any mention of it? And we also have Kenyans detained on the other side of the border. Did either of the two leaders speak on that?
Yes, indeed, Olive, the Prime Minister of the Federal Republic of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, spoke about that, just touching that the two countries have actually enjoyed peace and coexisted along the border. And he's saying that the two countries are working towards ensuring that the peace prevails as it has in the past years. And of course, it has been a bit rocky, and President Uhuru Kenyatta also urged Kenyans to actually maintain pace, saying that they should coexist with their neighbors from Ethiopia. Away from that, Olive, the country is expected to receive volumes of trade after the opening of the one-stop border post here in Moyale. Of course, an event that was presided over by President Uhuru Kenyatta with the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed. The two leaders are talking about how the two countries are going to deepen their bilateral agreements and, of course, the relationships between the two countries, also mentioning that trade is now expected to improve along the Ethiopia-Kenyan border. Remember, Olive, also, this has been one of the most porous borders that Kenyans has with their neighbors, and the president has spoken about actually ensuring that they observe maximum security, bolstering security within and of course along the border. And the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, saying that the two countries are going to ensure that it's not just about trade but also tourism, ensuring that this one-stop border post will serve the two countries in ensuring that there is no stalling here. Remember, businessmen have been said to stall here when they are transporting their goods, actually. But he's saying now, after the opening of this border post, it's now going to be efficient and, of course, very speedy. And this will ensure that the business competitiveness between Ethiopia and Kenya is observed. They've also spoke about the smuggling of goods. They're saying now this will be a thing of the past, as they are also working to ensure that other areas that are considered porous along the Kenya-Ethiopia border are actually bolstered with security. And they want now all citizens from both countries to use this now as the entry and exit point, depending on which side of the country, or which side they're going or which side they're coming from. So, Olive, today the two presidents have reiterated that this is going to deepen the trade relations. They said it's also going to deepen the working relationship between the two countries, and of course touching also on the security issue, which is actually a very serious issue at hand, considering that we've seen that some of the Kenyans have been detained recently. We will be pursuing that much later on, but as of now, this one-stop border post is open, and we've seen citizens from both countries actually using the crossing. Remember, there are offices set up here, authorities from the Kenyan and the Ethiopian side, that will ensure that whoever comes in to Kenya or goes out of the country is going to be cleared at these offices here, Olive. You can see quite a state-of-the-art infrastructure here. And this is just to show you the seriousness these countries are putting in to ensure that all these things to do with trade, things to do with infrastructure, things to do with security are considered. So, Olive, as you can see, the one-stop border post from both Kenya and here in Moyale is actually open at the now, and of course residents from Kenya and Ethiopia will be using this one-stop border post here in Moyale. That's all from Moyale. Back to you, Olive, in studio.
Thank you, Melita. Abiy Ahmed has a lot to answer for, apart from the Kenyans being held in Ethiopia. His troops have been accused of firing at a UN convoy that was seeking to access a refugee camp. Let's now come back to matters. BBI and the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops is addressing national issues at this moment from Karen, and those national issues also include the BBI. Let's listen in.
Wewe na mimi ninahitaji kuchambuliwa na mwanakatiba au mwanasheria, tushirikishane na tuone ni yapi ambayo tunaweza ngoja, ni yapi ambayo tunaweza tekeleza. Si kwamba tujapinga BBI. BBI is our baby as much as Kenyan baby. Tumepeana maoni, isipokuwa sio wengi walipata nafasi. Sasa wanapeana maoni yao. Mengine yatafaa kwa sasa, mengine yatachukuliwa baadaye.
Probably we are having an issue with the executive and the legislature. Like Kenyans are of the opinion that the weight bill will be too much, and that is why they are calling for consensus on why women should be nominated or they should be elected. Now I'm asking for you, the caucus of Catholic bishops, and you're calling for this dialogue. Okay, are you speaking with on the same voice with those people who are calling for dialogue to clean up this thing, or what is your stand specifically?
I don't want to go back and forth with you. What you're saying is correct. What you're saying is correct, Wamba. We are all on the same table. There are those who are proposing some other things that are already been included since. But see, remember, the BBI report is different from the Constitutional Amendment Bill. It's totally different, not totally different. It's the same issues, but they're given different nuances. So it's us to identify which one do we need to deal with. Because as people are signing, they are not signing about only the BBI. They are looking about the Constitutional Amendment Bill, which is part and majorly what people are going to be dealing with. Na nafikiri unanielewa. Asante.
Okay, the summary.
Back to the situation at the Kenya-Ethiopia border, and at least 5 of 9 Kenyans arrested by Ethiopian authorities on the border town of Moyale are yet to be released. The 9 were arrested after Ethiopian security forces crossed over into Kenya on November the 24th in search of the outlawed Oromo Liberation Front militia. Ethiopia insists that the Kenyans on the border have been aiding the OLF group that has been launching guerrilla attacks on its security forces. Mamo Ali has that report.
Conflict along the Kenya-Ethiopian border in the recent past has led to either death of Kenyans or imprisonment in Ethiopian jails on accusation of aiding the Oromo Liberation Front militia. Earlier this year, at least 5 people were shot dead in Sesi village in the wee hours of the night by suspected Ethiopian security forces. In December 2019, 2 Kenyans died following heavy fighting that ensued after Ethiopian security forces stormed the border town of Sololo in pursuit of OLF militia. Diplomatic efforts to get 9 Kenyans released from the latest abduction incidents are advancing. Residents who spoke to NTV on conditions of anonymity narrated the torture that was meted out on them by Ethiopians for hours.
Hata mimi naweza laumu serikali yetu ya Kenya sababu walichelewa kufikia sisi kusaidia vile tuko. Hao watu walikuwa kuanzia hiyo saa 9 ya usiku iliyopita mpaka mchana saa 6 walikuwa na sisi na serikali. Kwa hiyo masaa yote na vile wako karibu hapa hivi hawajatushughulikia.
NTV managed to go into Ethiopia and got access to one of the most dreaded Ethiopian security units named Tabaka.
1, 2, 3.
We find them celebrating. Firing in the air following the capture of Mekele, Tigray's capital, by Ethiopian defense forces. On their part, the Ethiopians defended the move to detain the 9 Kenyans who allegedly were harboring the OLF militias. Ethiopia is accusing Kenya for its failure to weed out OLF rebels. It accuses Kenya for harboring the rebels it says has been causing mayhem along the border.
The Kenya we knew in the past is much different now. In the past, nobody will dare walk around armed within Kenyan boundary. But you are seeing rebels have permanent camps and are roaming freely in Kenya. Kenya is doing nothing to weed the rebels.
In the past, Kenyan authorities have criticized movement of Ethiopian security forces into Kenya without following protocol. However, Ethiopian security forces deny accusations of crossing into Kenya illegally.
We have never crossed into Kenya. These are lies to paint us the bad ones. But if we decide to cross into Kenya to pursue the rebels, we will overrun those militia camps within Kenya in a single day.
Insecurity has increased along the border this year, with the Ethiopian government and militia group accused of causing instability at the border. Residents of Somare village in Moyale are living in fear. Somare Primary School has witnessed a reduced numbers of learners coming to school. Majority of learners from the affected villages haven't reported to school. Sporadic gunfire disrupts lessons here.
Wengi hata wameamua kuhama. Pia si ati kuhama kwa upande wa Kenya. Ni kama hata wanahama upande wa Ethiopia kutorokea hii kitu. Ikiendelea hivi, kama hii serikali ya Kenya haisaidii watu, wengi wako na nia ya kuhamia upande lingine.
Since 2015, when the peace deal was signed between Kenya and Ethiopia, conflict along the volatile Kenya-Ethiopian border has not significantly reduced. On Wednesday, President Uhuru Kenyatta will host Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed in Moyale, Marsabit County. They will both officially open the Moyale one-stop border points, perhaps a good starting point to resolve the cross-border conflict. Mamo Ali, NTV.
Fear has gripped Shikangania village in Lurambi, Kakamega County, after a nurse collapsed and died after a short illness. The nurse, who works at the Kakamega Referral Hospital, had breathing problems. She had been unwell since Saturday. Zacchaeus Mosame with the sad story.
A somber mood has engulfed Shikangania village, with the medical fraternity in mourning yet again. Wycliffe Almasa, a nurse who works at the Kakamega Referral Hospital, collapsed and died at his home. According to his wife, the medic fell sick on Saturday and has been waiting for COVID-19 results.
Amekatika kwa mikono tukiwa na usha. Sasa ile tumbo ilikuwa inabebana hivi juu kama mpira. Kaambia pastor hapa.
Alafu akachange tu, akabadilika, dakika kidogo akarudi akalala chini. Hivi ndivyo akaenda. Sasa kawa katika ile hali ya kwamba amezirai, lakini hatujui kama amekufa. Lakini nakumbuka nilifanya na St. John kwa muda mrefu, nikashika pulse, mimi naona bado inapiga lakini inaenda kwa mbali. Nikashika ya hapa, naona inazimia. Dakika kidogo ameenda.
Neighbors say Almasa developed breathing problems yesterday night and passed on yesterday morning amid worries that he could have succumbed to COVID-19.
Na tuna suspect ya kwamba pengine inaweza kuwa COVID. So tunatoa hii tahadhari kwa wananchi wetu wa Kenya ya kwamba wajikinge, wasione hii kama ni jambo la kawaida.
Alipima malaria hakupatikana, alipima typhoid hakupatikana. So zile dawa anatumia tu ili kujikasa, lakini hana ugonjwa. But anasikia mwili unakuwa baridi, saa nyingine joto, na kupumua pia anasikia akipumua kwa haraka.
Inaweza kuwa na COVID kama inaweza kuwa na kitu kingine. Ndio sababu tunataka tuchukue tahadhari ya kutosha. Ndio sababu hata mnaona tumeweka wananchi mbali, sababu hatuna hakika daktari anaweza kuwa amekufa namna gani.
The body is preserved at the Kakamega Referral Hospital mortuary as the family awaits the results of the COVID-19 test the deceased had undergone. Zacchaeus Masame, NTV, Kakamega.
Busy perpetuating gender stereotypes, the nurse was male. He was unwell. All right, we take a break. We'll be back with more news shortly.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pamoja ili uongeze zaidi, utume SMS zaidi na ubrowse zaidi.
Usijali, tuma namba ya kila supplier kwa hiyo soko. Enda job nitaongea na kila mmoja wao. Mwaka sasa. Unajua leo ndio siku yangu ya kutafutia hii mmea yangu bei nzuri sokoni. Na kuna mtu nimepewa namba yake nimpigie nimuelezee pole pole. Ndio unajua na mama wengi sana huko sokoni. Ni ofa gani mzuri leo?
Very good. Piga *444# utunukiwe Credo double.
Sio kwangu, rudi.
Oya cheki. Kuna vile sasa muziki manze, kuna vile inajipa manze, yani na cheki. Maanisha tu tunajibamba, yani very regular.
Kitu ya muhimu kwanza ni kujua hali yako ya status ya HIV.
Kwa hapa hivi tuwapeleke na Rieng, tujue venye manze tutasaidiana si kama vijana. Na kama unaogopa kwenda pale hivi kwa clinic, unaweza pitia pale hivi kwa chemist ya mtaa. uitishe a self test kit na wanauza 500 bob only. Unajitestia tu mtaani, unajua hali yako.
Manze na ukiweza patikana nayo yani uko positive manze, usiogope. Kuna madawa yani jo, kuna counseling manze. Unaweza kula fit yani, alafu unaweza piga bado ma exercises kiasi hivi. Na kama nyewe manze ukiweza patikana yani hauna manze, usiasi tu unaenda kutafuta tena.
Cheki. Ukiweza abstain.
Lakini maji yakizidi unga,
wrap it before you tap it.
La bila gloves haiwezi. Rieng ni kujijua.
Unapoendelea kujikinga kutokana na HIV, tafadhali zingatia taratibu zote za serikali za kujikinga na virusi vya corona.
Afya bora, maisha bora. Jipime, jiinue.
Ruiru Mabati Factory offers best quality mabati at the most affordable prices. We pride in over 10 years experience. Our products have 15-year warranty and are KEBS certified. We manufacture box profile, Europe tile, Jenga tile, corrugated profile, among others in a wide variety of colors. Enjoy our free delivery in just 72 hours. To order, call us now on 0111 050 700. Ruiru Mabati Factory, mali safi kwa bei poa.
This Christmas, jaza kwa sababu there's a whooping 1 million bob to be won. All you have to do ni kupiga shopping worth 1,500 and above. Na uko ndani ya draw. Krisi, ipambe na Quickmart. Quickmart, fresh and easy.
Fun and food got together beautifully at GMC Place. Enjoy our succulent meals in a serene setting with a varied choice of fun games for the little ones. Cup it up with a cuppa or a cocktail, all available to your taste. Discover the joy of a warm pool by diving into the Blue Oasis heated pool. Or at GMC Place, the fun never ends. Make your reservation today on 0701 560 560.
Thank you for staying with us on NTV at 1. Now that the wheels of impeachment on Governor Mike Sonko have been set in motion, with a special sitting of the Senate called for this afternoon, what can the residents of Nairobi County expect moving forward? Will Governor Sonko's fate in the Senate be decided on the strength of the charges against him or on politics? And can the courts be expected to provide him some reprieve? Should the motion to impeach him succeed, what happens then in the absence of a deputy? And where does it all leave the Nairobi Metropolitan Services? Let's take a look.
On the Sabbath, Mike Sonko once again turned his eyes to the heavens, documenting how far he's come from his time as an inmate at the Shimolatewa prison. A reckoning, perhaps, now that he runs the risk of losing any power he had left as the governor of the nation's capital. Question is, will it take nothing short of a miracle for the governor to remain in office?
The Senate must proceed to confirm the impeachment or to save him. If the Senate impeaches him, then he may have recourse later. If the court interrogates the circumstance under which Governor Sonko was impeached and finds that indeed his claims had merit, that the MCAs that were away in Malindi did not actually participate in the voting, and that somebody used their passports illegally to vote for them, then the court would reverse that impeachment, consequently reinstating Governor Sonko. But until then, the court cannot intervene and interfere with the process of his impeachment.
The courts have ruled in the past, in the case of Martin Wambora, very clearly that indeed the courts cannot interfere with a constitutional process that has timelines. And that is what happened even in the case of Waititu. He is in court, he was in court during that time. He tried to stop a swearing in.
A reinstatement that could be equated to shutting the barn door after the horse has bolted. But let's not jump the gun. The Senate must first decide.
Sasa nakuja kwangu Jumatano tuone vile tutafanya.
Even if there were other political considerations, like people considering him as an irritant, as someone who is incompetent and incapable. Has Governor Sonko been suspected of committing corruption offences? Yes. Has he been charged? Yes.
Does that leave him up a creek without a paddle? The creek being the Senate and the paddle a friend.
Impeachment of a governor can even happen for amusement, just because we can. Impeachment is as political as it is legal. Actually, it's more political than legal because the law only provides the procedure. The law does not provide the substantive threshold questions for impeachment.
Sonko isn't the only one whose fate hangs in the balance. His constituents are right there with him. The Constitution in Article 182 provides that in the absence of a deputy governor, the county assembly speaker takes charge, with the exception that an election shall be held within 60 days.
It will be the first time in history where a speaker will actually assume the office of the governor because of the absence of a deputy governor. It is not good to throw or to force a county to go into elections, gubernatorial elections, because we know it is expensive, it raises political tensions, and it may not be a prudent thing.
Another political consideration would be what happens to the Nairobi Metropolitan Services should the signatory to the transfer of powers cease to hold office.
The only way that NMS could have or can have full authority to discharge all these functions is if there is an amendment to the Constitution. That amendment to the Constitution is about governance and governorship, and it will still be subjected to a referendum, at least to the extent of Nairobi County and its residents. It may as well happen that they may combine the two elections.
And what of Polycarp Igathe, with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission having stated it was not officially notified of his resignation as Sonko's deputy back in 2018? Could he swoop in and claim the spoils?
For him to all of a sudden come up and say, now I am still the deputy governor, it will actually be suicidal and it will go to the roots of his integrity.
Whichever way the dice fall, what is plain is that it will be no simple matter. Olive Burrows, NTV.
After leaving Moyale, Lamu was next on President Uhuru Kenyatta and Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's itinerary. They're scheduled to inspect the progress on the construction of the new Lamu port. And Kevin Mutai is on the ground. Kevin, what are residents saying ahead of the visit by President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed?
Well, of course, Olive, the visit from the two heads of state definitely has elicited a lot of reactions, with hundreds, if not thousands, of people expecting a lot from their visit, because this construction of the Lamu port, which actually is the largest because it has 32 berths, and the president will just be coming here to inspect the ongoing construction. Berth 1, 2, 3 are already complete, and very soon we're expecting to see vessels docking at this particular facility. As you can see, security has been beefed up here ahead of their visit, both in the ocean, in the air, and of course on land. As I can see, hundreds of security officials are patrolling different places just close to this particular facility. The visit of President Uhuru Kenyatta and Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is expected to open up and clear uncertainty, particularly concerning this particular project, and of course boost the trade relations between the two countries. Ethiopia normally depended on the port of Djibouti for its international and shipping logistics, but with the completion of this facility, we're expecting to see goods being transported from here in Lamu to Ethiopia via the SGR, because we understand that the second phase now of the construction that will facilitate the transportation of goods from this particular port will be done via SGR. Of course, also there's construction, massive construction of road network that is under the Lamu Port, South Sudan, Ethiopia transport corridor. The road network will be connecting the port of Lamu to Ethiopia and, of course, to other parts of other countries that will largely depend on this particular facility for shipping and maritime logistics. Of course, this is the largest port, as I said, and of course, Abiy Ahmed definitely being here today will give a sign of, an enhancement in terms of boosting the maritime logistics here in the country. Normally, the port of Mombasa is the one that has for a very long time being dependent on by other countries, but now with the completion of this facility, Olive, we're expecting to see a lot of business, not only here, within the East African region, but of course also beyond the borders, as of course, again, the president is already on his way. We are being informed that he will land at Manda, then head for a brief, meeting with other leaders and proceed to this particular facility. So we are on standby here. I can already see the other government officials who have been running this particular project, the Kenya Ports Authority, the LAPSET officials who are, behind this, mega construction, are already here and waiting to receive the two heads of state. As I said, this is a good move that now Kenya will open up windows for business and other trade ties. So we are just on standby, and definitely once we get to hear from the two heads of state, we'll definitely have a very comprehensive story on the visit of President Uhuru Kenyatta, accompanied by Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. Back to you, Olive.
Thank you, Kevin. That port being the originating point of the LAPSET corridor project. Kevin, as he said, will fill us in on what comes out of the visit in our subsequent bulletins. Now, time for me to hand over the reins to Watson Karuma for the sports.
Well, thank you very much, Olive. I'm here to save the day, as always. Now, PSG's Champions League game against Istanbul Basaksehir will resume tonight after it was abandoned last night. The team staged an unprecedented joint walkout over alleged racism by a Champions League match official on Tuesday, prompting UEFA to suspend the game and launch an investigation. Both teams left the pitch after a lengthy touchline row, which erupted when the Romanian fourth official Sebastian Coltescu appeared to describe Basaksehir assistant coach Pierre Weber, the former Cameroon international.
I think I could have managed the Istanbul and PSG walkout. All right, let's take a look at what's happening away from Kenya's borders. And Ghana's opposition leader, John Mahama, has accused the incumbent president, Nana Akufo-Addo, of abusing his military power in an effort to overturn his win in various constituencies. The former president, on his part, that is Mahama's National Democratic Congress, claims to have won majority, the opposition's National Democratic Congress, I beg your pardon, claims to have won majority of the 275 parliamentary seats, claiming victory in 140 constituencies. Now, on the other side, Nana Akufo-Addo's side, they claim to have won, given that 91% of polling stations, they say, shows them ahead by 52% to Mahama's 46%. They've accused Mahama of endangering the peace of the country by prematurely claiming a parliamentary majority. Meanwhile, Ghana's Electoral Commission reneged on an initial promise to release official results 24 hours after voting ended, saying it needed more time to ensure accuracy. There has never been a second round in Ghanaian elections, and the two main parties have handed over power peacefully 7 times since the return of democracy more than 30 years ago. Well, we all hope that Ghana continues its record of a peaceful handover of power, should it be necessary, following the elections that were held on Monday with more than 17 million people registered to vote. That's it for NTV at 1. We go back to the Kusi Festival, and this is the last day of the Kusi Festival. Big things are coming out of there. A very competent team we have in Kisumu County. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
This is NTV.
Lakewood Emerald School, Kitengela. Lakewood Emerald School, Kitengela is a leading day